Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Shenmue Talk. In this episode we're gonna summarize the campaign for Shenmue III and what has happened a bit afterwards. We're gonna first go over the Kickstarter, then go over things like the stretch goals, the statistics, how they ended up, what happened after the Kickstarter was over, and a little bit what we think about the future. So let's move on immediately to have a look at how it ended. So this is the Shenmue III Kickstarter page, and you see there in the end it managed to gather $6,333,295 and that is from 69,320 backers. Just amazing numbers. As we will see, the final days were just amazing, and while there are not those 70,000 backers almost, are not unique. Many people had to do two accounts due to that. There were no add-on option for the Kickstarter, but still very, very good numbers, as we will see more later in the statistics. And the activity on the Kickstarter page must be something that has not been seen before, with over 80,000 comments in the comment section, which is really, really amazing. And the Kickstarter campaign ended a little bit more than a week ago with a final stream on Twitch, a countdown stream with Yu Suzuki and some team members. Unfortunately it was a little bit dull. I think it was very little color, which is not really, Shenmue was a very colorful game with colorful characters and colorful graphics, and this was just, everything was just gray. When it comes to the backgrounds and everything, no artwork or whatsoever in the sets themselves. Not too bad. It's also, but the whole show. I mean, I'm not blaming them too much. They were very open with that. They have never done this kind of thing before, a live Twitch stream. Well, they did one, the infamous one during the Kickstarter, but not like this. And it consisted more or less of going over the old Kickstarter updates, reviewing the old poll and info, and displaying a lot of fan work by fans. And it was all a bit cheap. There was nothing. The only new thing that came up really was that they confirmed that there will be an option to still contribute to Shenmue III via PayPal after the campaign is over. We haven't heard anything more about it after this stream, but it should be coming up. But I have complained a lot about the Kickstarter campaign. I don't think this is, again, it's not too bad what happened in this Twitch stream, but I watched a few days earlier the corresponding ending stream for the Bard's Tale 4, and despite having no interest in that game in comparison to Shenmue 3, I mean the stream was just a joy to watch. They were a bit more upbeat. There was at one moment someone they took a question from the fans about, can you include this function into the game, and Brian Fargo responded, if we get 20,000 during the coming minutes, I might do it. What the hell, like doing these spontaneous things, and it did. Well, I mean, it did not happen, but it's still, it's a bit fun, and they just a little bit more, putting in a bit more to boost the numbers, so to speak. And after the campaign was over, it was a Friday to Saturday. They started collecting money early last week, and we don't know yet how much. There's always going to be money that they do not get of those 6.3 million, but we haven't heard yet how much they have not received. But hopefully they will be ending up with a figure way above 6 million. Now let's look at the stretch goals a little bit, what happened with those. And at the last Back in News episode I did, we had gone up to Baisha Village expanded battle event, and during the final days after that Back in News episode, we also got the Baisha Village expanded character perspective system, which is going to allow for multiple playable characters. And then we went up to 5.1 million, got the Portuguese subtitle stretch goals. And then at the final day, when the Kickstarter went over 6 million, we also got the battle system expanded advanced free battle. So looking at the total picture, there were quite many stretch goals achieved, almost 10 to 15 of them. So we got the cinema shorts for Shenmue I and II at 2.5 million. We got subtitles for German, French, Spanish, Italian, and finally Portuguese. At $3.2 million, we got a rapport system, which is going to be some sort of relationship between characters system. At $3.5 million, we unlocked the skill tree system. I'm not so sure about what that is. And then Baisha Village, the main hub of Shenmue III, was expanded over 5 stretch goals, mentioned character perspective systems, and more minigames, an infiltration mission, an additional quest, and an extra battle event. And then the battle system was expanded as well as a final stretch goal. I often showed you this meter during my Shenmue Talk episodes, and if we look at it, this is the meter showing how close we got to the next stretch goal, which was battle system expanded ragdoll reaction, and we were way more than halfway there. It was not that much more needed, so hopefully this one can be achieved through means of PayPal later if they keep the same stretch goals. After the campaign was over, it was a bit silent for a while from official channels, but Cedric Biscay has hinted that there are more things to come for Shenmue III in the near future. Also interesting, Sega released the Shenmue I music on iTunes, and that is something unexpected. I hope maybe as a consequence of the success of the Shenmue III Kickstarter. There's also ongoing campaigns on change.org for re-releasing Shenmue I and II in HD. You can find the link below the description here. There's also been some information through Awesome Japan that via email that some fans have gotten, but there's not much substantial things yet, so hopefully we get another good Kickstarter update soon. Now let's look to a long segment of statistics from the Kickstarter. If we look at the final days, how they were saved on KickTrack, we see that we had an amazing boost with almost $1 million on the last day, and a quite steep increase on a daily basis over the last 4 or 5 days there. And we had the same figure, even more extreme perhaps, in the number of backers. We almost tripled the number of backers on the last day compared to the second to last day. And these are all really great numbers. And the total made Shenmue 3 become the 6th overall most funded project on Kickstarter, and in particular the 3rd most funded game and the 1st most funded video game. So a great historical achievement there for Shenmue 3. If we look into more detailed comparisons, and in particular the ones I've done during this whole series, where I have compared Shenmue 3 with the Bloodstained and Ouya. You can first have a look at the overall picture here. We'd never quite reached Ouya, which was expected, but we did end up in between these two, which was what I somehow had in mind we would do. But in the number of backers, we beat them in both. So that's really, really good. Looking into a more detailed description here, we see that we had roughly almost 5,000 more backers for Bloodstained, and about $800,000 more, while we had 6,000 more backers than Ouya, and but fell 2.2 million behind or something like that of that total. So we'll see how much Shenmue 3 can move on. It's quite common that these projects on Kickstarter keep having some sort of funding option after the campaign is over, PayPal or on gathering money on their own webpage or whatever. So we'll see how it keeps on going for Shenmue 3, but this Kickstarter was very, very good. You can see more comparisons with other games such as Mighty Number 9 Pillars of Eternity and more on my Shenmue Talk stats page. after the Kickstarter was over, Shenmue III was featured, of course, almost everywhere in the media as the historical Kickstarter it became. But after that, it's been a bit more calm, as we haven't heard any major news really from the official organizers. From the fans, there's been some interesting things happening. There's been a visual novel called Shenmue Gaiden announced, made by fans, and it will be a spin-off of some chapters from Shenmue II. There is an older game in the similar style from the same creators that you can find on Shenmue Dojo, for example. Otherwise, in the future, we're of course awaiting more substantial Kickstarter updates, information about the PayPal, a proper web page, or if they at least update the web page they have now to have a pledge option, and hopefully some good forums for everyone to discuss with. So there are a lot of people who want to discuss in the Kickstarter comment section. And other than that, well, there is a campaign going on, again organized by the fans. It goes on the hashtag Save Shenmue HD, and that's going to be a monthly Twitter event where the fans can bump Sega for HD remasters of the old games, which will be very good to have now, and can hope that they will come up. Other than that, well, Shenmue Talk, this video series, will somehow wrap up with this episode and go into hibernation mode. Same goes for my Shenmue Talk webpage. I will do occasional updates and perhaps some occasional discussion video in the future. When I do, I will, as usual, post this on Shenmue Dojo, NeoGAF, and the Kickstarter page. But yeah, activity will definitely slow down from me, at least until we get something more fun to talk about. And I want to end this series with just sending out a lot of thank yous to everyone deserving it. So first, all 69,000 backers, or how many you are, big thanks to you. This means very, very much to me, and hopefully to all of you, or most of you, to get Shenmue III. I also want to thank you, Suzuki, for never giving up and making this happen. Also Sega for not being just annoying and not just keep on sitting on the license for Shenmue III or the Shenmue series. Really not common that this happens, that they just let a creator take the franchise and do whatever they want with it. For example, Koji Igarashi with Bloodstained did not get to use the Castlevania license from Konami, and Keiji Inafune could not use the Mega Man license. We had to do Mighty Number 9 instead, and so yeah, this is yeah, thank you Sega, even if you didn't do Shenmue 3 for many years, you did something good here. I want to thank the campaign workers, even though the campaign has had its ups and downs. I still think it's a hard campaign to manage with a lot of emotional fans to keep track on. But well, these fans, I should really much want to thank them. It's been very interesting to see so much output in terms of videos and fan-initiated campaigns, etc. I don't think you can understand how much this has meant. I want to thank the usual sources, the Shenmue Dojo, Shenmue 500K, Team U, for spreading the word and having interesting discussions and keeping us updated on Shenmue 3. I want to thank everyone on NeoGAF that I've chatted a lot with during this campaign. I hope we can keep the thread up there, and also the Facebook groups, the larger ones, also spreading information in a good way. So thank you, all of you, and be proud about this. And yeah, hopefully at some point when there is something that I think is really interesting, I'll be back here and do something again. If not, there will be others for sure that do it and do it better. But I think this has been fun, and of course I forgot to say thanks. I mean, it's been, I did this Shenmue Talk webpage and series when sort of I couldn't pull out more cash from my wallet, then I decided to do this instead and hope to get someone to find out about Shenmue III. So I want to thank all the people that I have had over thousands of views on YouTube and thousands of views of the Shenmue Talk webpage. Thank you for coming there. I hope there has been something good for you there. And yeah, I think that's really it. So thank you, all of you. Have a nice weekend. Oh yeah, and also before I end, the final thing, don't miss to watch the Shenmue II being speedrun on Summer Games Done Quick, and also don't miss Summer Games Done Quick. It's a really wonderful event for charity, so if you love video games you should watch that. Alright, now it's finally it. Bye bye.